Welcome back to TSPN. We took a break for the whole school year. I'm back with my co-host Austin Lucas, and we have a special guest today, Mr. Patrick McNeilis. Tell us about yourself, Mr. Pat.
Well, I work here. I'm in the CLP room downstairs. I also coach football here for going on since 2012. Played on the 1999 state championship team, which is why I think we're here today. And got 2 little girls, beautiful wife, live in a town that we won't talk about, but that's the life right now.
So you are here for the football team that you guys won a state title of course. I just want you to talk about the team and just a little bit about how you guys won that state chip and what went into it.
Well, a lot went into it. We'll start, I guess, the year prior. Didn't have a big senior class in '98, but they were all pretty good. We had a big junior class and a pretty solid sophomore class. When I say solid, they had 4 all-state kids, so they were kind of they were good. But at the end of so we won, I think, 8-1 my junior year in the regular season. Won the first round of playoffs pretty handily, and then it was between us, United, I think, Forest Hills, and Central. And we played United at home, and we kind of didn't know much about United and pretty much looked past them, and they came in and pretty much dominated us. I mean, it was 20-0. We lost 20-0, and I know at the end of the season we kind of got together as a group of seniors, and that junior and sophomore class who ended up being the seniors and junior class of the '99 team kind of got together. It was that one was on us, and we kind of left that meeting knowing that there was kind of only one way to kind of make up for that, because the years prior to that, I think we won district 3 straight years. We're supposed to win that year, kind of choked. And it wasn't on the seniors that year; it was on us, because we were the ones that didn't take it. You need to learn a lesson. We learned it. So, but the lesson we kind of took going into the summer was there's only one way to kind of make up for this, and that was we had to win a state title. It was one of those things where you can say it, but we actually believed it, and it was just kind of, we were competitive with each other, but we were also buddies. It just kind of worked out, and there wasn't one single thing that was the reason, but it was just we believed it, and we weren't going to not let it happen.
Yeah. So you played on the offensive line. What do you think your biggest contribution to the team was?
In the trenches.
No, in the trenches. Yeah, that's where the games are won.
A big spot there.
Well, I think that's one of the biggest things. Growing up, the offensive line, everyone now is oh, it's the offensive line. Kind of growing up, I grew up watching the John Siners, the Brian Bonsall, Craig Stars, Luke Fridays, and those guys were the cool guys. They were the ones you kind of looked up to, and it's kind of like a badge of honor to be on the offensive line.
What position were you on the offensive line?
I played them all.
All?
Yeah. So I started at right guard. Our center ended up breaking his hand, so I ended up playing center. But now we're kind of Boston knows, we have the rotators on the offensive line. So we had a rotator right guard, and when someone needed a break, I went. So Gummo would be left tackle. Mm-hmm. When he needed a series off, I'd go left tackle, and someone would come in at right guard.
Gummo.
So
yeah. Always taking a break.
You said it, not me.
So what are you up to now, hobbies wise? And I know you said you worked here and stuff.
Yeah, I work here. My girls are they're 4 and 6. One's going to be 5 here in a week. But I coach 6U softball, help out with 8U softball. After football season, I did K1 girls basketball. So it's busy. I have fun. Taking my dog out for a walk. That's kind of, and then
you need
getting geared back up for football season again. So it's kind of getting to that time of year where I'm kind of starting to chomp at the bit to get back at it with that.
So what we're doing with all this information is basically we're gathering all the 99 team as much as we can, cheerleaders, football players, coaches, and what we want to do with it is we want to make kind of like a magazine
Program.
a program to sell at next year's football games. Austin and I will be putting it together. TCAM, of course, will help us, and we just need all the responses we can get. We're going to talk about stories, memories in it, and then we're going to, of course, talk about what the 99 team did. So if any of you guys are watching this and want to reach out, you can contact our teacher, TCAM. McNeilis, you could probably help us.
Yeah, you guys have my numbers. I'm not going to call out anyone by name. Doug Roseberry, Josh Lucas, Brandon Hoover, Joe Leonard, anyone else who hasn't.
We need you guys. We need a lot of you guys to make this program work. We need it like ASAP too.
Yeah.
TCAM's been on our butt about it, and we've just been sitting here. He actually made us do a podcast. I guess we can say this. We took second in the state this year again for a podcast, and we did one this school year. But last school year, 2023, at the end of school, we released some podcasts, and we were able to upload that. And we took second in the state. We got beat by nobody again. So next year, if we get the same class, maybe we'll win a state chip. Be like the 99 team. What are some key memories you have with that football team?
I mean, just how close we were. Like we, like in the locker room, just like the goofing around, and just like after games, like we'd like all the families would get together, have like a tailgate, and like that'd be everything. And like game wise, just, I mean, I know the Bella game's always big, like district championship, the Western final, going out to Pittsburgh, and I mean, you know, like Coach Franco likes to get there early. We got there, we got to West Mifflin, I think it was, at like 3:30, and there was already a line of Tyrone people waiting at the gate to get in. It's like, and then Hershey, when you're coming up from the hotel, and like you see like the big couple like people with RVs like at Penn State, and you have the Tyrone flag. And it's like, dude,
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's when you kind of like, it hits you like, okay, we're here. And just, I don't know, some of the moments, like I remember Jesse's running the state title game. Like it was a 49 sweep, and I remember turning around and like hitting the guy I was supposed to hit, and I was kind of like, I couldn't tell I heard a roar. I couldn't tell which side it came from, and I was like, and I kind of look up, and all I see is the back of 31 running. I was like, oh boy, here we go.
Hoover looks over the situation, the quarterback for Tyrone.
Watching that game clock, watching the 25-second clock, letting it go down to about 4.
This will be Jones to the outside. Jones trying to get to the corner, has a big hole, he's gone. Look out, it's a foot race. Jones with a state championship, bringing it 20, 15, 10, 5. Hello, Gold Medal, Tyrone. He just went 92 yards for a touchdown.
Took off running, just like the memories of just coming back into town. Like it's stuff that's like you look back on. I was like, dude, that's pretty sweet. Like it's like a once in a lifetime thing.
And I'm guessing the fans, they just motivated you guys a lot. They were honestly a key part to that team, even though they didn't play.
Oh yeah, I mean, Tyrone, like when it's cooking here, like it's everything. Like even our basketball season, like it was, it was filled by the end of the season. But like we never had we might have been the away team, but we never had a game where we didn't have the most people there. Like, and it was not by just a couple; it was by like Tyrone people were taking over the home stands. And
after that game in Hershey, how did it feel to win the state championship?
Like after, like, it was kind of like surreal. Like you just. I remember after the game, like underneath the stands, like just kind of like what looking at my brother, going, "What did we just do?" And like you're in the locker room, and just like looking at everybody, is like, "Dude, this is like, did we just do this?" And then we get on the bus, and then I remember being on the bus and just kind of like people like driving through Huntington, people are like honking at the bus, and like like Huntington people are like, "Ooh." But then like when we came off
Graceville Bridge.
Oh no! So you're coming in like 453, like you're going into Burger King. Then you get up on 99. Like, what are we doing? Like, and then we made the left to get up on 99, and you look down and it's like all you saw was a sea of people. Or like, and it took us. If I remember, it took us longer to get through town than it did to get back from Hershey. Like, that's how crazy the parade was. And then you get up to the gym, and it's like overflow, and it was like, dude, this is pretty wild. And then here we are 25 years later still talking about it. So it's like pretty, it's
a key memory.
Yeah.
Honestly, talk to us about that game. The score, who'd you guys play?
We played Mount Carmel. It ended up being 13-6. December 11th. We always remember that date. But it was cold. I think there was like 25 mile an hour to 30 mile an hour sustained winds, so it was windy. Just to kind of put it in perspective, the one we scored on Tim's touchdown, the extra point, Scotty put it out of the stadium. That's how much the wind was going.
Goodness.
When Jesse scored the other touchdown, like at the end of the game, we were going the other way. The kick, Scotty kicked, didn't even make it to the goalpost. But it was just like one of those things where you knew both teams were really well coached, because with the wind, like the offenses became like limited. And it was one of those things where every time they came out, we knew exactly what they were running. Every time they came out, or we came out, they were yelling what we were running. So it just came down to like every play is like, okay. And we kind of started to kind of take control after Tim's touchdown. I mean, that they weren't beating us.
Yeah.
But like even before that, we kind of started to get like, okay, instead of 2 yards carry, we started kind of getting 4 yards, 5 yards, getting first downs. I remember Jesse fumbled one. That's like the first time he fumbled since like week 2 or something. And we're like, okay. But like we had started to drive, and we're like, we got this now. And then Tim made the touchdown, and then they had no chance after that, because it was just momentum. And then I mean, if you look back at before Jesse's run, the play before, we had a first down, which would have ended the game, and they called a terrible clipping penalty.
On who?
I think it was Josh Taylor they ended up calling it on, because we thought it was our tight end. We're like, it couldn't have been Josh. And then that's what they said. And you look at the film, it was like,
Terrible.
yeah,
call.
one to clip. And they were like, you got to be kidding us. So Coach Franco came out, and it's like, we're running the same play, except we're going the other way. And they kind of, like I said, like I pulled around, hit the kid, and heard the noise, and like kind of Josh Lucas perfect kick out block, and it was just like Red Sea parting, and it was chaos.
Tell us about, we know Jesse was the running back, of course, but tell us about who was all the starters and key players on that team and their positions.
Well, we'll go with running backs. Everyone knows Jesse.
Did he respond?
Yes.
Yeah, we got Jesse's.
All right, good.
He was a real deal. But what made Jesse so good was our fullback. I mean, he didn't make him good, but like our fullback, Josh Lucas, if he could have been a 2,000-yard rusher too, and like he was really good. Wasn't very big. Like he's probably 5'8", 160 pounds, but tough as nails. Brandon Hoover, quarterback. He ended his career, I think, at the time, like the all-time leading passer. Tyler Beckwith was probably the most underrated player on our team. He was tight end, defensive end. He was an animal. Our offensive line was like my brother and I, Doug Roseberry, Dave McCacken, Scotty, Joe Leonard. Like wide receivers were Stevie Johnson, Coach Johnson, Eric Latchford, who's Mrs. Latchford's husband, Jamal Owens, like Byron Conrad. Like defensively, like ran a 5.2. Trying to think, like the linebackers were Doug Roseberry, Evan Cletius, and Josh Taylor. Like you're not going to find 3 better. Now you could have played with those guys, but
Austin Lucas, Owen Oaks.
yeah,
Easy on the Owen part.
no, it wasn't
Smoke
going to be
Shack.
good. Yeah, it wasn't going to be good. The Tim Dry, obviously the one who made the touchdown in the state championship game. Secondary, ran a cover 2, just simple 5-2 cover 2. Eric Latchford at corner, Stevie Johnson, safety, Jamal at safety, Nate Varilla at the other corner. And like we had depth. Like like I said, if we went from a 5-2 to a 4-3, we took out a defense lineman and put in Josh Taylor, who was a sophomore, but who ended up, he'd be another all-state kid. Like, just, we had depth. We played for each other, and
Do you guys ever like meet up, any like reunions or anything? Like, you still close with a lot of them?
yeah, we're all still close. Like, as you get older, you start having kids.
Yeah.
So it kind of like,
Separates.
yeah. I won't say separates. Like, we still have group text, and like, we don't, like weddings, we get together. Like, I know we had the Blair County Hall of Fame was kind of the last time, like, the most of us were together. But like, we still are in touch. Like I called Jesse about this, and that's the first time I talked to him in a while, but it was just like picking up. Like,
Where's he at?
he's Red Land. Like, he lives down in Harrisburg area.
Hey, we'll pay for an Uber here. We got to get you on this podcast. We need you. So if you're watching this, get in contact with us, please.
Yeah, so I can get you his number.
We need that. And Coach Franco.
Yeah, we can
We'll
definitely get
him on.
Franco
It'll
on.
be a 3-hour podcast. That'll be a good podcast.
Yeah, you guys won't have to ask any question. They'll just start talking.
Do you have anyone on the team that you just haven't heard of in a while? Like, anybody that just, they moved on with their life and, like, they just haven't really looked back with it?
I haven't heard from Tim in a while. I know last I heard he was in Mississippi in the Navy. I think he's still in the Navy, last I heard. But most other people I've seen are, like, Hildy would keep me, like,
Yeah.
for his grade. Like, Hildy keeps me up to date on, like, everyone in that grade. And, like, but yeah, for the most part, like, we've all kind of stuck together.
Keeping up with Tyrant football. I know, of course, you keep up with it because you are a coach.
On the staff.
Yeah, but how would you say the past couple years of Tyrant football, how does it compare to your 99 team? What would the final score be?
Listen, this is how this works. Like, we're always going to have biases. Like, I'm always going to be biased to, like, my group.
Yeah.
Like, Mr. Owens is going to be biased to his group. Like, I grew up watching his, like, Owens' group. Like, Corbin's going to be with 2011, like, Terry in 2004. Like, everyone's going to say, oh, we would have beat them. We'd have beat them. So, I mean, we'd have beat them. But yeah, it's a totally different game, too. Like, in some ways it isn't. Like, it all comes down to blocking and tackling. So, like, Jesse wasn't going to be able to run for 2,500 yards or whatever if he didn't have a good offensive line. Our offensive line wouldn't have been as good if we didn't have Jesse. And even on Jesse, like, people don't forget Brandon Hoover was, like, the all-time leading passer. And, like, everyone's like, well, you guys ran all the time. I was like, well, yeah, and Jesse had that many yards because we also had the all-time leading passer. We had the all-time leading passer because we had the all-time leading rusher. Like, it kind of, yeah, well, I was going to say, you're going to load the box, we were going over top.
Yeah.
And if you weren't going to load the box, we were going to, and even when you did load the box, we were still going to go at them.
First day of practice next year, me and you, Oklahoma drill.
Who's
Right.
taking it?
What do you think?
Oh, I'd beat him, but I'll still get hurt.
Yeah, you might tear a couple ACL, a couple ligaments.
Nah,
in your
I'll
leg.
tell you what, I'd take Austin. Austin Lucas could have played on any of those teams. Like,
Fred Warner out there.
listen, his sophomore year, we were kind of making up positions to get him on the field.
What did I play against Clearfield my sophomore year?
Viper. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Did we even have that? What
It
was
was
it?
just it was a bear package.
yeah. Tell you, like, that's.
I didn't play this year, but I remember I was on the sidelines taking pictures, and you got killed. It was the biggest blindside hit I've seen watching football. Austin got lit up bad.
Oh, that's a Penns Valley
And
game.
yeah, this kid, he stands up and starts clapping and yelling because the kid got a penalty, and I was just like, dude, I would have been knocked out. I'd been dead.
Austin's linebacker. He's tough.
I'm not.
Your little corner.
Put me
That's
at
what
corner.
happens.
That's what I'm gonna have to be. Who's your favorite NFL team?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's horrible.
Terrible choice, but
Well, you've been brainwashed since day one. So
go Pack. Hey, we're winning the Super Bowl this year.
yeah, and listen. The worst Super Bowl experience I ever had was when the Packers played the Steelers, and I got a call from a Rumburger
Yeah.
about 20 minutes after that game was over, and I was like, okay.
Who won that game?
That's what I said. I got a call from a Rumburger, and that's
Yeah.
all. I'm going to leave it at that.
No, who won that game? I want to hear it.
Oh,
You gotta say it. Who
I
won that
don't
game?
remember. I fell asleep.
How about your college football team?
It's right up the road, Penn State.
Penn State. Man, they kind of suck too.
No,
Who won it all this year? Who was it
that
again?
Michigan team.
Yeah,
I have photos of somebody in a Penn State football shirt though, so we can get that out there too.
dude, it was a 7-on-7
Mhm.
Penn State shirt, and
Yep.
he caught me wearing it, and I had to take a picture for my dad. Michigan's better than Penn State. Packers.
Yeah, they won the national championship this year. I can't argue that.
Yeah.
true.
I can't argue
And then
that.
Packers Super Bowl.
We'll see.
And then us, you like the Giants, which
Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't need to bring that
Yeah,
up.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
I appreciate the fact he still reps them, even though they
Get out
haven't
of the
been
talk.
relevant in a decade.
you're out of the talk, us. It's okay. You guys will someday, just someday. I don't know when, but
Wherever
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is out of here.
whenever everyone's out, you guys just need to reset. Who's your running back since you traded Saquon?
They don't have one.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you who it was going to be.
Who's your wide receivers?
They just drafted Malik Neighbors. Wandell Robinson, he's not bad. Darius Slayton.
Darius Slayton. Who's your QBs? Russell Wilson?
Justin Fields.
Oh, I thought it was Russell Wilson.
They have
Well,
both
he's
of
out.
them.
It is.
They have
It's
both
both
of
of
It's
them,
a
yeah.
little competition. Can't be afraid of a little competition.
Well,
That
I
makes
mean,
everything great.
Justin Fields is a Bears quarterback, so he ain't winning.
We'll see.
I'm just saying.
We'll see.
Just saying. I mean, the Steelers aren't good. Honestly, does the 99 team take the Steelers?
No. Listen,
It's a whole different level.
yeah, it's funny because I remember going out to, like, Doug walked on a pit, and we were out at the football house, and I just remember looking around going, yeah, these guys are,
Big.
this is
It's different when you
it's
get up
a
there.
whole nother level. So,
All right. That wraps this up. But if any of you guys want to get on a podcast or reach out and fill up that form for us,
yeah, text me if you have any questions.
all right, we'll be very grateful if you do that. It will help us a lot. Hopefully, we're able to make this, and this is the second episode of TSPN this year, and
It
school's
is.
almost over. So we'll catch you guys probably next year.